Welcome to Talking Live. I'm Dr. Robi Ludwig right here in Starshop Studio in Times Square. And we have John Tabacco of Liquid Lunch, and we just love you. We are so thrilled to have him. He was formerly a Wall Street trader turned producer of a very successful show on Newsmax, which I was lucky enough to be on.
Yeah, well, we were lucky to have you.
Oh my God, we had such a good time.
That's the real question is, when are you coming back?
Whenever you want me.
Frank said I had to come here, otherwise you were never coming back. So
I would still come back.
I was dying to come on. Ever since you came on my show, I wanted to come on your show.
It's just so nice to cross-promote, and I have to say, you are such a warm anchor.
Well, thank you.
You know, people come on the show and they just feel very comfortable. There's just something very down to earth about you.
Well, I'm regular.
You're regular.
You know,
but exceptional.
Yeah, well,
exceptional
thank you.
but regular.
I'm trying to be exceptional, but it's a work in progress every day. You know, my team. You've been down to the studio.
Yes.
You know,
great studio.
We're part of Newsmax TV, which is the fastest growing cable network in America.
Yeah.
Going to 70 million homes nationwide, but we have our own little niche there with Liquid Lunch, where we have our own studio, and I have my own team, and you know, I have a bunch of young kids who are working really hard.
Yeah.
They're creative, they're productive, they're efficient, and we're trying to do something different. We're trying to make it feel like a family atmosphere.
It does.
You know, my team screws up, instead of waiting until the commercial and going crazy, I just say, well, that's somebody just kicked the camera. I don't know why you would kick a camera, but
you know
it
what
makes
it feels
people feel like they're part of it.
Yeah, it feels like a green room on the air.
That's right.
Don't you agree?
Yeah.
And what's so nice is that John is such a family guy. His brother is the bartender in the back. I did not drink because
Don't get me in trouble, Dr.
No,
Bobby.
let me just say, I'm
My
clearly...
brother is the coordinating producer of
he's
the
also,
show.
oh my God.
He subs.
We have a picture of him right there.
Yeah, there he is. That's my brother, Derek. My associate producer, Nico, I went to college with his dad. Another one of our producers, Patrice, who does all the social media and stuff. I went to high school with her dad. So I like to keep it close. I like to work with family. I'm trying to create a family environment. As I told you, you know, my dad was a cop. He was a New York City cop.
Yeah.
You know, my mother, she raised us. Dad was working sometimes 2 jobs, 3 jobs. You know, Mom was there cooking dinner, taking us to wherever we had to be, making sure we were on top of our school. And, you know, as I told you also, my mom is, you know, she's committed to philanthropy.
Yeah.
We grew up in our household, you know, help people, volunteer. My dad was the president of the local Little League, the local Pee Wee Football League. So, you know, we learned to try to go for greatness, but be humble at the same time.
So what messages did your parents teach you? Because you and your brother are so succcesso, yet accessible. What was the message they instilled in you?
Well, I can tell you both my mom and my dad, and this may sound like a cliche, but I'm 52, but I was literally the first tobacco in our family to go to college and graduate college.
Where'd you go?
I went to St. John's University.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Red Man, Red Storm now. We can't say Red Man anymore, but you look wonderful in red, by the way, Dr.
Thank
Robi.
you.
But you know, my parents literally always had to set real expectations, and never, always told us, you can be great. Not you are great, you're the best, Johnny. You can be great. Don't think, you know, because you came from here or there, you can't be the greatest. You know, no one's the greatest, but my parents always taught us that don't think you can't do anything. And you work hard. You know, my father would come in, you know, screaming in Italian, "Chi dorme non pesce," he who sleeps gets no fish, at 6 o'clock in the morning. And
How great.
We hated that, but, you know, hard work, help others.
Yeah.
You know, faith, family, that stuff has always been, you know, are always guiding principles. Even when you're in a bad spot, if you have those things, you're in a good spot.
And I was so impressed with your mother's organization, WOW, which is World of Women.
That's right.
And they give a voice to women who have no voice. So they donate their money to helping women who are victims of sexual abuse, and they provide money to schools. It was just very impressive. Like
For
very social
grassroots,
workish.
right? You know, I
Yeah.
guess mom started that like in the kitchen.
Yeah.
With like 5 ladies on the block, like,
the way
you know,
to do
20
it.
some odd years ago. And I've watched it evolve. I've watched it grow. At times when, you know, we've been fortunate enough, my brothers and I, to help the organization for great causes. We always do. We're benefactors, but it's the least we could do for everything. You know, we call my mother Patty Fresh, but
Oh, I
what Patty
love it.
Fresh has done for us, it's the least we could do.
She's a good mom. She's in the good mom category.
She's more than a mom. You know what I mean? She's a mentor. She's a leader.
Yeah.
My brothers and I, you know, we were raised by her.
And also, like, as a mother, I'm so impressed with how close you are to your brothers and how everybody has a role
Yep.
in your work life. Because that's unusual. Not everybody is that close. It could be very competitive.
You know, it's I wouldn't say it's always the easiest dynamic. But, you know, as you get older and you're in the business world, I'm an entrepreneur. I've built a couple of successful businesses and sold them. I've been in Wall Street, as you mentioned, for 30 years. And as you get older and wiser, you realize that even these people that you think are your coworkers and your colleagues and your associates and blah, 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 when the moment is right and there's a chance for them to try to slice you or cut you or stab you in the back, I'll take the little travails of dealing with the family business to know that I got my brothers behind my back at all times. So to me, that's more important than anything.
And I think that's what makes you a success and so different. And I think that really comes off on the air. When you were younger, did you want to be in business? Did you want television? Did you want to be an actor?
Well, I'll tell you, Doc.
Do tell me.
When we were kids, as I mentioned, my dad was Little League president of Little League, president of Football League, high school football coach. We played every sport. We played tennis. And somewhere in there, my parents found time to have my brother and I go to a local church to their improv classes on Saturday mornings. And we did these improv classes for years on Saturday mornings. And, you know, when you're little, you start doing charades. Oh, play it, you're a teapot. You know, don't talk and be a flower and the sun's, you know.
Did you like that? I hated when I was asked to be butter melting into the floor.
I remember those days vividly. My brother and I were always kind of causing some kind of havoc here and there, but we liked it because we kept doing it. Otherwise, we probably would give my mother a hard time. But I learned years later that another path to success is to be able to express yourself.
Yeah.
You've been on my show.
Yes.
I do 2 hours of television every single day.
That is
you
hard.
don't see a teleprompter there, do you?
No.
There's no teleprompter. There's no script. There's no one in my ear telling me what to say.
To brag about you, your
me.
show started off as 1 hour, and
That's
because
right.
it was so successful, they wanted you for 2 hours. That never happens in TV. What happens in TV is, hello, you're canceled.
Well, listen.
We want to expand.
We don't take anything for granted.
Right?
I'm happy. I was happy with one.
Yeah.
The network was growing, and they wanted to, you know, get some more original content on, so they asked me to do 2. I'm happy to do whatever they want. We have a platform. We have a voice. We're talking to Republicans. We're talking to Democrats.
Yes.
We're trying to keep it real every single day. I call my audience the purple people because there's some reds and some blues. But, you know, me personally, socially, I'm liberal. You know, you want to smoke pot? I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to do whatever you want, a woman with her body? Not my business. You want to be gay? I don't care. I'm happy for you.
I think most
We're
New
flying
Yorkers
the rainbow flag, but you know,
are socially liberal.
I feel like socially the government should stay out of women's wombs.
Yeah.
They should stay out of our back rooms. They should stay out of our bedrooms.
Yeah.
Let me do whatever I want, okay? For as long as the government is going to allow people to smoke cigarettes, which I do, and adds to a number of our health care
not
issues.
healthy.
But what I'm saying, as long as the government's going to allow people to smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol, which are 2 of the most addictive things on earth, why can't they let people smoke pot? I mean, let's be reasonable. I know over the years plenty of Wall Street guys who have had too many Jack Daniels and went home and beat their wife.
Yeah.
But I don't know any that smoked a few joints and went home and beat their wife. So, you know, to me, I'm like, cannabis for everyone.
Listen, I understand, and it's an interesting argument because it can make a state rich like in Colorado, right? I mean, it adds to the money that a state can use, but there are challenges with anything that could be addictive and create health issues. So it's an interesting argument, and I think we're still studying it.
Overall, I think the social issues, the government should stay out of it. On the fiscal issues, the economy, taxes, states' rights, I'm conservative on that stuff.
Yeah.
I want lower taxes. I want less regulation. I want the government out of my business. Just
Yeah.
tell me how much I got to pay you at the end of the year and leave me alone. And I think most people that are in business, you're a businesswoman, you're an entrepreneur, you're a great show host, but I don't want the government in my business.
Yeah.
Well,
what's going on in New York State, where when you turn 65, Marvin, did you hear this?
What's that?
65, everyone that turns 65 in the state, New York State, has to go on Medicare. They don't have a choice. Did you know that?
Turn 65.
I'm not aware of that. But
I think if you are 65, and whatever the age is for Medicare, once you reach that age in New York State, it's new.
Really?
You have to go on Medicare. You can't choose private.
I haven't heard about this.
Oh, well, since I'm in that, health space,
No.
I've heard of
All right.
it.
Okay. Well, look, I could tell you, for your audience out there, something a lot worse that's happening to people who are 65. 10,000, I talk about this all, Liquid Lunch, it's kind of a play on words, right? My whole career has been spent on Wall Street. I pitched Chris Ruddy, the CEO of Newsmax, on doing a midday show. He said,
Can I say what he said about you? Because I have a quote here.
From
So
Metropolitan
Chris
Magazine.
Ruddy is a huge fan. He's the CEO of Newsmax, and he said, John and his crew on Liquid Lunch are providing the news and showing it that it could be fun and informative.
Yeah.
And that's what you are, fun and
Well, thank you.
informative. That's really,
I'm
he's right
trying.
on about that.
Well, that's why he gave me a chance. And,
Yeah.
he said, all right, well, if I give you, I had a weekly show on Newsmax on Sundays called What's the Deal, where we broke down the age-old question on the topics of the day. What's the friggin'
What's
deal?
the deal? I love that. And you had another one, Table Talk.
Table Talk was the beginning. That was a 4-part docu-series that we did. But he said, all right, if I give you a shot at noon, what are you going to do? What would you do? And I said, I'll do the same thing I've been doing for the last 20 years on Wall Street. I'll do Liquid Lunch.
Yeah.
I have people in, I'll give them a cocktail, and you want to see the truth come out, we'll start getting the truth out of them. He said, hey, I like that. That name is catchy. You really do a Liquid Lunch? I said,
It is.
I can do it.
It's an alliterative phrase. That's why
right.
it's so catchy.
Well,
Yes.
right. That's why we do Money Mondays, we do Terrific Tuesdays, we do Women Wednesdays, Thirsty Thursdays, and Freaky Fridays, because marketing people love alliteration.
Yeah, it's true. It's easy to remember.
Yeah, definitely.
And you really do. So tell our audience what you cover, because you have, as you said, you have Democrats, you have Republicans, you have independents.
That's right.
But you have a broad range of people, and you've been described as being real, having the real people, and having people who also are part of the ivory tower, so the more erudite personalities as well. Maybe not after they have a drink, but
they all loosen up. That's why, my brother may be over there looking like some unassuming bartender.
He was happy I took his picture.
But he knows that we got to get a couple of cocktails in these people to really get them tuned up and ready to go and be entertaining.
And share secrets?
Well, you never know. Sometimes I'm not that hard-hitting, but I say that on Liquid Lunch, sometimes it's shaken, sometimes it's stirred, sometimes it's neat, sometimes it's a little dirty, but it's always straight up.
What has surprised you on your show? Has there been any guest that's been shocking?
Well, we've had so many guests. I mean, we've had so many. My co-executive producer, Frank Morano.
Yes.
Who's also my co-host and the managing editor. He keeps me honest on all the stuff
wonderful.
that I spew out.
Yeah.
He's the best in the business. Young
You guys are a
man,
good team.
We are a great team.
We have a picture of the two of you as well.
He's the team, okay?
Yeah.
They just roll me out there. He tells me what to do, but we try to get a diverse group of guests where our audience knows it's not a put on. Mm-hmm. If you put on like MSNBC and you see a Republican on there, they're paying the guy to take a beating. Now, if you put on Fox and you see a Democrat on there, they're paying that Democrat to take a beating, right? on our show, we're bringing real people. I always say our guests know where the rubber meets the road. I tell them in the beginning, we're going to mix it up. Democrat, Republican, whatever the news of the day, topics of the day. Mix it up, scrape it up, fight it out, interrupt each other. One rule is at the end, we do like we always did in Little League Baseball. We line up, we shake hands, we puff.
That's what's so
nice.
nice.
That was the thing.
I think that's what makes your show so unique. You're pulling for all of your guests.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what they say. You want them to win at the end of the day. Have their say so that it's a successful show.
I want my viewers to win.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's a platform out there where people are getting the straight dope every day. And if you're not smart enough to listen to the other perspective, because most of the time, I'm more to the right. I'm a Trump supporter.
Yeah.
Okay, but like I said, I'm socially liberal, so I can hear a lot of things. But every single day, the expanse of my brain is widened by listening to even the people who I don't think I'm going to agree with.
Yeah.
And, you know, you're the smarter person for knowing you can learn something from everyone.
Why do you think people are having such a hard time listening to alternative perspectives? Because I think that's really dangerous when we get to that place where we just want to talk in an echo chamber.
I don't know. You know, it seems like when I look at it, the Republicans of late are winning, but they're always on the defense.
Yeah.
Okay? And I think the Republicans, no matter every haymaker the Democrats throw at them, you know, Trump will come back and he'll sign, hey, I'll sign the USMCA. So after they try to impeach him, then he signs a bipartisan agreement with them, right? So I feel like people that are centered to the right, they don't hate you for liking Hillary Clinton. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I don't like Hillary. I don't agree with you, but I can have a conversation with you. And it seems more and more the frustration with the left is that I'm going to hate you personally for your opinion on a political candidate. And, you know, you're the shrink. You want me to lay down at this point? You want to start the couch on me?
I mean,
is
you
this
can
where I
lay down
on the couch?
Here's my thought. I think it's an emotional Cold War. And it scares me for the country because I know as a therapist the only way we get anywhere is by talking to people from different places with different ideas, and that's how we move forward.
It sucks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
I have friends, me personally, that they literally don't want to be your friend anymore.
I know. I've
because
seen
I go
like
on
that.
television. Hey, this is part of my job to call it like I see it. I have my views, and if anyone on earth, at least on national television, I'm the executive producer of the show. I control the content of the show.
Yeah.
If I wasn't an open-minded person, I would not let the other perspective
That's right.
on my show every single day. So I'm doing that to show my viewing audience, who I care about most. They're my customers. They're my friends. They're the people that support me, to show them, hey, you can invest your time in me, John Tabacco, because I may not be saying everything you want to hear, but one thing you know is I'm smart enough to be open-minded and be more well-informed.
That's
and
right.
I think that is something that people are liking about Liquid Lunch.
It's nice to have a place where you can hear a lot of different opinions. I also want to mention that you were featured in Metropolitan Magazine.
I was.
Congratulations.
I was?
Yes.
No, I'm
you
kidding.
know that. In February's issue
That's
of
right.
Metropolitan Magazine, I think there's a great article about you and why you're so popular, and even about the way you dress.
Really? Well, Chase Backer's a
We
great
have
guy.
right there your
there it
and
is.
Frank,
there's my co-host. That's my guy right there.
Yeah.
Chase Backer's a great friend.
Yeah,
you know,
he's a
we
great
have
guy.
him on. We have him on Liquid Lunch every so often, and he brings us some wicked guests like Carol Alt and Kreskin and others. Consuelo Vanderbilt was down last week.
I saw that too. I watched the show. I'm a fan.
She's going to be on this Wednesday again on Women Wednesday. She's a great guest, and you know what they wrote about me. I showed the article to my mom.
Oh.
You know, we were in Disney World this weekend with the whole family and the kids, my daughter's cheer competition. And I sent it to my mom on a text, and she said, "What is this?" And I said, "It's an article they wrote about us and the show and everything else, you know." And then, like a few hours later, I saw her that day. She said, "I read that article. It was fantastic. That Metropolitan Magazine article was fantastic." I said, yeah, I thought it was good. I was happy with it. She says, it was very humble of you to say it was about the show. It was about you, John.
It was about you. And that's why I enjoyed reading it so much.
Whatever persona I'm putting forth as the host of the show, it's because of a whole lot of people who care about me and what we're trying to build on. And,
that's right.
It's not... I may be the front man at this point, but there's a lot of people that go into making that great.
Well, it certainly is great, and we do something called the Quick Five, so people can know a little bit more about you, but in a good way, John.
I'm not giving you my weight.
Okay, I won't ask. We won't ask that question.
You watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I do.
Yeah.
I
Did you see this week?
I didn't see this week.
You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. Then
all right.
you get the joke.
It's on demand, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'll check it out. Okay. What makes you roll your eyes every time you hear it?
An excuse from one of my employees why they're late.
Yeah.
Because for all you younger people at home, Warren Buffett says that 80% of being successful is showing up, meaning showing up on time.
Yeah.
And I've been in business for a long time.
Yeah.
And you see guys who aren't stellar talents, but they're at their desk at 5 to 9 every day. And you see these other guys who are hot shot, flash in the pan, and they show up 20 minutes late, 15 minutes late. And when it comes time to building your career, the management above you wants dependability.
Yeah.
And I say to my team all the time, don't tell me I'm only a minute late. It's a binary. You're either on time or you're late. There's no other word. So I do more than roll my eyes, but excuses for lateness are not acceptable.
Okay, I'll try to be on time for you.
No,
I came early.
You're a celebrity.
I think I came early. How do you judge a person?
Are you asking me that as my therapist, or are you asking me that as the host of the show?
Whatever.
Well, I think
whichever works.
I think maybe one of my fatal personality flaws is that most people, I initially judge someone by their cover. But I also have made a pact with myself over the years that I judge, no matter what I hear about someone, I'll take it and put it in the memory bank, compartmentalize it. But I judge everyone on my own personal interactions with them. So if someone says, well, this guy beat me up and this guy scammed me and that or the other thing, I'll take it, I own it. But until I have my own, personal interactions with that person, and if they're all good, then I'll say, hey, listen, all I can say is my interactions are good. You know what I mean?
And that's hard to do.
It is hard to do.
It is hard to do because sometimes the whispers are true and sometimes they're not.
Can I tell you a quick story?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'm more Republican than not, right? And in 2009, I was running for New York City Council in Staten Island in a predominantly minority area. And one of my friends knew Al Sharpton, right? Okay. And he says, hey, why don't I introduce you to Reverend Al? He'll respect you're a business guy and stuff. Maybe he'll endorse you, in the race. I said, well, I don't know if I really want Reverend Al's endorsement, right? But he says, well, let's go meet him. Let's go meet him and talk to him and whatever. So we go up to Harlem to the National Action Network and meet with Reverend Al. And he's, I have to say, my first meeting, sweetheart, total sweetheart. And you hear all these things, he's a race monger, he's extortionist, this, that. I said to my friend Justin, I said, I can't say anything bad yet.
Yeah.
In that case, about a month later, we met up to figure out if he could find a way to support my candidacy at the Havana Club. We were smoking cigars, and I had on a beautiful Franck Muller watch.
Oh, nice.
Okay. And Reverend Al, as we were talking, kept staring at my watch.
Oh.
He kept staring at it, And I nudged my friend. I said, do you think he wants my watch? And he said, he might.
Oh, did it have diamonds in it?
No, it was Franck Muller is a very unique watch, fine timepiece. And he kept looking at it. So I said, hey, Rev, what's up? You want my watch?
Yeah.
You want it? Is that what it's going to take? And he goes, I want that watch.
Oh, nice.
So that was one time where I let the stereotype not be the judge. Yeah. And on my face, I was like, wow, okay, he might be a good guy. But then it turned out to endorse me, he wanted my watch. So.
Oh, did you give it to him?
Of course not.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Come on.
I didn't know.
No,
Well, at least he had good taste in jewelry.
I didn't give him my
I'm
watch.
partial to a man who has good taste in jewelry. If someone narrated your life, who would you want the narrator to be?
John Facenda.
I don't know him.
From HBO Films. He's the guy that does the all the old NFL like Super Bowls and stuff on the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field, Vince Lombardi's Packers. You know that. I'm a big sports guy.
Sounds like a good choice.
I know your producer over there knows who John Facenda is.
Marvin does.
Yeah. Or Ray Donovan.
Okay. That's a good choice,
To bring
too.
it into the more modern era.
Yeah.
And you may not know this, but all of the sports programming and the promos and stuff on HBO, that's Liv Schreiber's voice.
Oh.
He's the voice of HBO. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Ray Donovan.
Yeah, I think he'd be perfect for you.
Yeah,
Have you met him? Have you had him on the show yet?
I wish I could get
We need
Liv
to get
Schreiber
him
on the show
right.
because that's like, he's a great character.
Yeah, that would be a good get. What are you interested in that most people are not?
Let's see. What am I most interested in? Is there a time clock on this one? Is this multiple choice? What am I interested in? Can I give you two?
Sure.
Okay. One is a very obscure 16th century writer called, his name is Balthazar Gracian, and he wrote a book called The Art of Worldly Wisdom, which is not a book. It's a set of tenets to live life by, and I read it. It's not a book you read. You go back and refer to. It's a reference guide on how to deal with things. And he was one of the first people that was a Christian, a Catholic monk, but he taught about self-empowerment and putting positive thoughts into the universe and striving for greatness, but always keeping humility above greatness. That, learning something from the lowest person every day is just as great as learning something from the highest person.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people, because I had to play the Johnny T character, the Italian kid from Staten Island with the pinstripe suit, so it seems like sometimes I'm kind of over the top and braggadocious, but most people wouldn't know that a lot of what I try to guide my own life philosophies are grounded in humility, which is a good thing for those of you watching to think about.
Yeah, no, that is good to know. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, hopefully I'm still vertical. Let's go with that, But no, I mean, I have big aspirations. I have goals and dreams. I don't think, 20 years ago, I had a local cable access TV show on Staten Island Cable once a week called Local Sports Rap, where I talked about youth local sports. You know what I mean? And I graduated. I got on CNBC. I got on Fox Business. I got on Fox News. I've been on everything.
Yeah.
So I feel like my trajectory is to a place where, I can't get much bigger on a national level because Newsmax goes to 70 million homes, Fox News goes to 85 million homes, but we're the fastest growing network right now.
Yeah.
But I think the type of programming that my team and I are trying to create from an executive production standpoint, I think, we have greater goals to create content, maybe build out, other parts of a great growing network like Newsmax, maybe build out a lot more digital content. And I could see, hopefully myself being in management of some kind of new age media company at some point.
I would love that. Well, hopefully we will continue to stay connected.
Oh, we have to.
Congratulations on all of your success. It's really a wonderful show.
Thank you so much.
Liquid Lunch. We will have links so you can check it out. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week on Talking Live.